can reign for a long, long time.
Mike Tyson will always be with us, even though he has retired from boxing, has been involved in a series of scandals, and starred in a number of mediocre films. His strikes, his speed, and his power and aggression inside the ring will inspire millions of boxing fans around the world for a long time.
How you doing, Coach? Right on the chin. I'm going to relax though, because I don't want my head to swell any more than it is.
Many documentaries have been filmed about Mike Tyson. His biography has been repeatedly retold and is definitely well known to the fans of the legend. So in this episode, we'll focus only on Tyson's training and psychology.
Punches are not made, they are born. He was born a puncher. It's just my nature. I mean, to reach for you and take your heart or your blood or your spleen or your liver.
Mike was born to become a fighter. Even being an athlete by nature, the future king of the world of boxing, Mike Tyson, had to work hard on his physique before he was able to crush his opponents. Mike was a street fighter from a young age, but his training only began when he was 16 years old. Even then, he weighed about 175 pounds and was constantly gaining muscle mass and adding power without losing speed. Although for Tyson, gaining weight was not a priority.
What does it take for a real knockout puncher to get the job done?
Well, there's a certain kind of knockout punches. There's something, being a big man really doesn't matter. It has no significance in knocking out someone. The main point is the quickness in which you throw the punches and the leverage in which you have in the shoulder snap. And the object of really knocking out an individual is throwing a punch where he can't see. And when there's combination punches, and when you throw punches and you...
Any boxer will agree that the fighter should have strong legs. They will support a tired body even in the last rounds. And they will allow him to maintain distance or to reach his opponent at the speed of light. Every truly powerful strike starts from the legs. So it's no surprise that every day at 4:30 a.m., Mike went for a long run for about 5 to 6 miles. Why did he do it so early? Because Tyson liked to train and become better while his future rivals still slept. After jogging, Mike had a breakfast and went back to bed. After that, he continued his endless training routine for the whole body. In 10 rounds of functional training, he performed 2,000 squats, 500 reps for the triceps, 500 push-ups, 500 shrugs with the weight of 65 pounds, plus 15 or more exercises on the muscles of the neck. Mike paid a lot of attention to this muscle group. A powerful neck is especially important in boxing and in many martial arts because it reduces the chance of getting a knockout after taking a heavy blow to the head. A good way to strengthen the neck is the so-called bridge curls, which are widely used in wrestling, boxing, and many other martial arts. Mike often used those, and thus was able to develop the muscles from the base of his skull to the traps and deltas. As a result, his neck was about 20.5 inches in size. That is a very powerful neck for a man that's 178 centimeters tall and weighed 176 pounds.
Move your head. Keep the head down when you come up with the H. Keep your head down. Yeah, I mean, it's not coming up, but starting to come up to make it perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect.
To all of that, he added several hours of cardio every day, including jogging in the morning and in the afternoon. 10 or more rounds of sparring, shadow boxing, punching a heavy bag, numerous exercises on the abs, training the body to resist shocks, long sets of jumps with a rope, and of course training of the epi-peekaboo, with a constant change in rhythm and depth of squats, and lots of other exercises. This style of training required a lot of energy and effort.
Me and my trainer, Custom Model, we always put a great deal of emphasis on our speed and combinations. He always told me speed kills. Speed is what kills. The speed kills.
Oh, here it comes. Wow.
With the weight he had, and with such an exhausting training routine, he had to eat at least 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day, with enough carbs and proteins to maintain his weight and to progress to reach the super heavyweight category. In terms of nutrition, Tyson usually started the day with oatmeal. After that, he had a few more meals with beefsteaks and rice, or with pasta and vegetables, adding juice and fruit. In reality, such a training routine for 5 days a week was much harder than it might look. But to gain his unrivaled speed, power, and reaction time, Mike was ready to do everything that was necessary. Among other achievements, he holds the record for the largest number of fastest knockouts in the Guinness Book of World Records, as well as the youngest world heavyweight champion. Mike finished most of his fights in the first round.
Shane, brief pro career, hit like ace. Tyson, you have to like how poised he is right here. He is picking his shots well. He is hurting. This one could be over.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it
Long is 27.
Oh, wow.
Well, left hook, good night. He predicts a great future. All right, they can find some fights then.
There were even knockouts in the 8th second of the bout. And we still haven't mentioned that Mike's coaches repeatedly said that the young Tyson did not train using weights. He was naturally a big man, and training with his own weight was enough to develop the muscles of his whole body. For various reasons outside the ring after years of training, Mike's training became unstable, and it happened at the later stages of his career, as well as near its end. Tyson trained in gyms, as well as with free weights. However, Mike did not win just because of physical superiority. Often he was actually lighter than his rivals.
I was never really a big heavyweight. When I was in my prime, I never weighed over 217, 219.
But speed and power were everything during the battle, and psychology, even before the fight starts.
I was beating guys off of just pure brute strength and intimidation. Most guys were just pretty much intimidated. They lost the fight before they even got hit, most guys. I knew the art of skullduggery. These guys, I knew how to beat these guys psychologically before I even got in the ring with them. I'm scared to death. I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But I'm totally confident. The closer I get to the ring, the more confidence I get. The closer, more confidence I get. The closer, more confidence I get. All during my training, I've been afraid of this man. I thought this man might be capable of beating me. I've dreamed of him beating me. But I always stayed afraid of him. But as closer I get to the ring, I'm more confident. Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one could beat me.
However, life prepared for Mike a lot of tests. Defeat in the ring, the emptiness in his soul after betrayal by loved ones, and zeros in his bank accounts after being cheated by managers, divorces, and alcohol. Years later, Tyson was not himself, but he still says that no matter how his fate has changed, he can still take a blow. Judge Mike by his young years, when he fought primarily for the victory. His last fights were for money. He just had to go into the ring, but the fire was no longer in his eyes. He did not fight for victory.
He's worked up a full sweat. I want to tell you, the electricity in this crowd is awesome. I haven't felt like this since it was about 4 o'clock in the morning one morning. We're in a place called Kinshasa, Zaire, when Muhammad Ali came in against George Foreman for the heavyweight championship of the world.
There is no doubt that Mike Tyson at the peak of his career was one of the best athletes in the history of boxing. But you can't be on top forever. Even legends do not linger in the ring forever. Their days are also numbered.
I keep my eyes on him, I keep my eyes on him, I keep my eyes on him. Then once I see a chink in his armor, boom, and one of his eyes may move. During the fight, I'm supremely confident. I'm moving my head, he's throwing punches. I'm making him miss and I'm countering. I'm hitting him to the body, I'm punching him real hard. And I'm punching, when I'm punching him, I know he's not able to take my punches. 1, 2, 3 punches, I'm throwing him punches and bunches. He goes down, he's out. I'm victorious. Mike Tyson, greatest fighter ever lived.
Thank you for watching this video.